Every great century that produces art is so far an artificial century. And the work that seems the most natural and simple of its time is always the result of the most self-conscious effort.
Imagine that liberation of mind for the first time. For the first time. How those kids just went mad. Wow, we can have sex and drugs and oh, we can be anything we want to be. We wear makeup and we can wear anything we want to be and people think we're cool. It's like a fantasy world, I suppose.
For once there was an unknown land, full of strange flowers and subtle perfumes. A land of which it is joy of all joys to dream. A land where all things are perfect and poisonous.
Well, you're the grand one, have you noticed? When you're walking, all the fairy bars are feeling nervous. Well, my starship doesn't want man, and neither does his world.
Political, sensibilities were being activated. There was gay rights, there was feminism, there was a lot of stuff that was sort of ignored, I think, in the 60s. I think the 60s had a real misogynist, a homophobic aspect to them.
It was a very brief moment where suddenly that kind of gender bending was not only acceptable, it was encouraged and almost necessary to be successful. I mean, even bands like the Kinks and the Stones were, wearing feather boas.
That's me! That's me! That's me!
I mean, everybody knows most people are bisexual.
Any more questions?
I was...
Yeah, woman with the beret.
I was under the impression that you were married.
I was born in 71, so I kind of missed it. I was running around countryside in Scotland when this was all going on. I love all that stuff. I love the idea of anything going and the bisexuality being hip, but at the same time, I think there was a lot of hypocrisy in it, and people saying they were gay and bisexual who weren't, and it was just a hip scene to be in. Whereas the people that were leading it truthfully, and we are gay and we are bisexual, and they were the cool people. One of the first times you see me in the movie, I think, where I'm playing this concert, and the audience is mainly hippies, and they're not into what we're doing at all, and then I'm doing my stuff and they don't like it, and then I egg them on and they like that even less. Oh yeah, I have to dive into the crowd and they hold me up and I do a bit of stuff and they set fire to me and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of action glam. Schwarzenegger meets T-Rex maybe. Yeah, I love this stuff. I like the performance because I want to be a rock star, really.
So he, performed, sang the songs live, and then did these unbelievably strenuous, outrageous performances, that, of course, drew a great deal from things we've all seen and read about Iggy Pop, with a little bit of Lou Reed thrown in there as well. But he just blew us all away.
Well, I was 12. I didn't really understand it. My grandmother told me she saw a picture of Alice Cooper, who was kind of an American equivalent to British glam rock, on the cover of a magazine when I was 11 or 12 years old, and said, "He's going to burn in hell." And of course I was intrigued immediately by this person. I wanted to know about him. Well, I think when punk rock was ushered in, it was a little bit more of a sexless musical revolution. Of course it was incredibly sexy in its own way, but I think politically things just changed dramatically, in the mid-70s. That this is a period of time that had great style and great humor about itself, and was able, in British words, to take the piss out of itself. At the same time, saying something and having a good time while saying it. I think that's what a lot of that is about.
It's a crowd, your mystic momentary seizure of love.
So you're saying you're bisexual?
Yeah, I like boys, I like girls. They're all great. No difference, is there? Mr. BBC.
I'm not really myself, except in the midst of elegant crowds, at the heart of rich districts, or amid the sumptuous ornamentation of palace hotels, an army of servants, and plush carpet underfoot.
And it's really truly a bisexual love story in that it also very, sort of romantically describes the marriage between Brian Slade and Mandy Slade initially, and then Brian sort of getting also completely sort of smitten with this character from New York named Kurt Wilde.
Love is tough and it takes effort and work. And I don't think Brian Slade was into effort and work much.
People generally aren't good with change, I don't think. And things are just constantly changing in this.
I use you, and I confuse you, and then I lose you, still you won't suspect me.
The relationship's obviously very strong and one that's based in love, and so that makes it, but like a lot of love affairs, it's like over as soon as it started,
Mandy is a very, very, very complex character. She had to be his door kicker. She also had to watch him do whatever he wants to do.
They both wanted to kind of be out there, and he came first and she never got her chance. Her window never opened, and I don't think she ever forgave him for that.
Who would you most fancy meeting in America?
Kurt Wilde.